It's catching up with me.
Is it? Oh.
Alrighty.
Morning, everybody. Morning.
Hey, Jody.
We have
I'm
about
here.
6 more people. We'll see.
Is it too late to sign on my assistant?
Oh, what a handsome.
Everybody in MLS knows who she is. Where's Gracie? She's here. Where's my phone? Jesus.
Hi, Sharon.
Hey, hi, good morning.
How are you?
And how are you?
Good.
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. They don't always, match up or mesh up or whatever. So
I know it seems
glad
like
to
we
be
have
here.
events at the same time, a lot of us.
I know. Well, Orange County's got one going on right now too, and I'm on my phone with.
Oh, okay. Jody, we see
Not
your
best.
cat. Jody's cat is always featured on Zoom.
She is, I know, right?
Walking
Well,
back and forth.
there you go. This is Gracie. Her brother George is sleeping just off to the side.
Hi, Gracie.
George and Gracie, I love that.
Thank you. Who said that?
Diane Johansson.
Hi, Diane. Yes, it's George and Gracie. So now I know at least you're over 18. These are wacky times, ladies.
Yes, it's crazy.
So we should have maybe 4 more joining. What time do we have? 35.
Mhm.
It turns out it was a couple living there, and he got home really late at night. It was like 8:30, and he basically saw someone just outside of
Good
his
morning, Tamara.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. You're welcome.
Okay, so are we there yet, Melissa?
Let's see. So we're waiting for 2 more.
Okay,
So that's up to
One
you,
more.
ladies, what we think.
One more now.
We have 2 more we're waiting for.
Okay.
Well, that's signed up. There was 19 signed up. We have 17 right now.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
should get started myself. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep, then that sounds good to me. I'll just keep an eye and let them in when they get here.
Okay, so we will get started. I'd like to thank everybody who's here with us today. We really appreciate your support. I would like to take a moment to pray for all the frontline workers, that they stay safe and strong while they care for others, for all the people who have died as a result of this coronavirus, for God to grant peace to their families and to bring health to those who are sick in the hospitals, to those having feelings of anguish at this time, and give our doctors and nurses, political leaders, the strength and wisdom they need to take care of us. I'd also like to leave you with a fitting quote for today's event, since we cannot see each other in person right now. I like to connect to people in the virtual world, exchanging thoughts and ideas, when in the physical world, we might never have the opportunity to cross paths. That's a quote by Demi Moore. Okay. I'm sure you all know our board members, but I'd like to introduce them to you at this time. You know that I am Sharon Robinson, the president. Beth Moore is the president-elect. Liz Andrews is our secretary. Savannah Nicole Hurst is our treasurer. Melissa Moya is our program director. And Tanya Werman is our membership director. So that's a boy. And now Melissa will introduce our speaker for today. Melissa?
Are we gonna do the pledge and all that first, honey, or no?
You are the pledge. I forgot about that.
And do we have our mission and those items, maybe?
Yes, you're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. The mission and vision statements will be by Tanya. Cynthia
Okay.
Woods is giving the inspiration, and Marlena Urick is doing an educational minute.
Okay,
So,
are we
Pledge
gonna,
of
are we
Allegiance?
ready for the pledge?
Yes,
Okay, ready?
sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Melissa. Tanya, the mission and vision statements.
Okay. Our mission is, we are a network of successful realtors advancing women as business leaders in the industry and the communities we serve. And our vision is the Women's Council of Realtors is recognized as a voice for women in real estate and the premier source for the development of leaders in the industry, organized real estate and beyond.
Thank you. And we'll have our inspiration from Cynthia Woods.
So can you hear me good? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I was asked to provide this inspiration. I've been mulling it over since, and honestly, I've had a difficult time coming up with something. With the pandemic limiting our ability to touch and mingle, afraid to be the one that brings a fatal infection to anyone, not just our loved ones. Racially motivated tragedies that prove that the country has not progressed so far after all. Senseless violence destroying families. What can I say that has any meaning? I reached out to friends and family who started sending me inspirational quotes, stories, and I could feel my empty tank slowly starting to rise. Last night I found this story and I'd like to share it. It's called The Black Dot. One day a professor entered the classroom and asked his students to prepare for a surprise test. They all waited anxiously at their desks for the exam to begin. The professor handed out the exams with the text facing down as usual. Once he handed them all out, he asked the students to turn over the papers. To everyone's surprise, there were no questions, just a black dot in the center of the sheet of paper. The professor, seeing the expression on everyone's faces, told them the following: I want you to write about what you see there. The students, confused, got started on the inexplicable task. At the end of the class, the professor took all the exams and started reading each one of them out loud in front of all the students. All of them, with no exception, defined the black dot, trying to explain its position in the center of the sheet. After all had been read, the classroom silent, the professor started to explain. I am not going to grade you on this. I just wanted to give you something to think about. No one wrote about the white part of the paper. Everyone focused on the black dot. And the same happens in our lives. We have a piece of paper to observe and enjoy, but we always focus on the dark spots. Our life is a gift, and we always have reasons to celebrate. Nature renewing itself daily, friends around us, even if it's on Zoom, the job that provides our livelihood, and I could go on. However, we insist on focusing only on the dark spot, the health issues that bother us, the lack of money, the complicated relationship with others, or the disappointment with a friend. The dark spots are very small when compared to everything we have in our lives, but they're the ones that pollute our mind. Take your eyes away from the black dots in your life. Enjoy each one of your blessings and each moment that life gives you. Be happy and live a life such that even the undertaker will be disappointed when it is your time to go. I'm not saying that all those dark spots I mentioned in the beginning should be ignored. They need to be exposed, explored, changed. But I found them so overwhelming and depressing, I became paralyzed with feelings of hopelessness. But as my tank was filled and I began to count my blessings, the strength to face these challenges and participate in changing what I can returned. I hope this story served to fill your inspiration tank a bit.
Oh, that was wonderful, Cynthia. Thank you so much. It was great. We all need to count our blessings. Okay, so now we will have an inspirational minute from Marlena Urich.
Okay, actually the educational minute, and thank you, Cynthia. That was just amazing. Filled my heart. And I hope we all had a chance to hear the poem that was recited at the inauguration yesterday.
Yes. Oh my God, that
Filled
was
my heart.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So deep breath. We can do this, right? It's my honor to talk to you briefly about the Elevate Growth Conference that's coming up. We have an exciting opportunity for all of us to take a step into our greatness by being more and learning more and participating in this virtual conference. It's coming up on February 4th through the 5th. And the way cool thing is that there's also a special class on February 3rd, the day before. I don't know if you saw this on our website, but on February 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for $100, we get a chance to work with Carrie Little and Marky Lemons and to earn a special certificate that is called Certified Virtual Leader. And what's cool about this is they're actually going to give units towards our PMN certification. So we're going to be talking about the PMN certification a little bit later on because that's coming up. There's some classes available soon. But just wanted to let you know that this is another opportunity because everything is virtual now, and we don't know how long it's going to remain virtual. It behooves us, in my opinion, to take a look at how we can show up as leaders on Zoom. So I've already signed up. I hope you'll join me, and thank you for your time. And we look forward to today's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlena. I signed up for that class and hopefully I want that certification.
Me too, me too.
Okay, and now Melissa Moya will introduce our speaker for today.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Today we have, sorry, Miss Tonya. Today we have Sondra Lee here to speak with us. A little bio on Sondra. Sondra Lee is a certified life mastery consultant and founder of Inner Radiance Revealed, has been empowering professional women to transform their health, relationship, vocations, and time and financial freedom for nearly 3 years by teaching them how to harness the power of their thoughts. Guiding clients through powerful, proven, reliable coaching programs, Sondra enables them to release the blocks to their success and see their life soar. She leads powerful workshops and speaks frequently to heart-centered groups, sharing the keys to accelerated achievement of one's goals and dreams. And then at the end, Sondra, if you could let us know your websites that we can go to, I'll leave that for the end if that's okay with you.
That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. And if it's all right with you, I'd like to share my screen. That'd be all right?
Yes, thank you.
And just in case you don't know this about Zoom, you can make the two sides of the screen bigger or smaller by moving the vertical line between them to one side or the other. So that if you want it to be, most people like it to be equal, but it's totally up to you. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk with you today. And I just loved that inspirational story you told, Cynthia. I could basically just, you led right into my talk today so beautifully. What I want to do today is share the 3 simple C's to activating your superpower so that you can achieve your goals and dreams, whatever they may be, far faster. Now, never in our lifetime has it been more important to activate your superpower than it is right now during these interesting and challenging and uncertain times. I wonder, did you even know that you have a superpower? Because you do, and it's right here at your fingertips. And by the end of my talk, you'll know what your superpower is and the 3 C's to activating it. You'll have greater confidence in your ability to achieve your goals and dreams far faster. And you'll feel excited, inspired, and motivated to go for those goals and dreams. But let's start by seeing if you can answer this riddle that describes your remarkable superpower. So who am I? I am your constant companion. I am your greatest helper or heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure. I am completely at your command. Half the things you do, you might just as well turn over to me and I'll be able to do them quickly and correctly. I'm easily managed, but you must be firm with me. Show me exactly what you want, and after a few lessons, I will do it automatically. I'm the servant of all great men and women, but alas, I have made failures of all those who are failures as well. Those who are great, I've made great. Those who are failures, I've made failures. I'm not a machine, though I work with all the precision of the finest machine you know, and all the intelligence of the smartest person you've ever met. You may run me for profit or run me for ruin. It makes no difference to me. Take me, train me, be firm with me, and I'll place the world at your feet. Be easy with me, and I'll destroy every dream you have. Who am I? If you think you know who I am, type that into the chat box. Who thinks they know what I am? Anybody? You're very close. Yep. You're very close, Cynthia. I'm not surprised. I am your thinking. I am your thinking. Your thoughts are your superpower. And as the riddle said, you may run me for profit or run me for ruin. It makes no difference to me. Take me, train me, be firm with me, and I'll place the world at your feet. But be easy with me and I'll destroy every dream you have. So if you learn just one thing from my presentation today, I want that to be that you are powerfully creative beings. And when you master this superpower, you will master your life. That's because everything is created twice. First, it must be a thought before it can ever be a thing. Everything in the room that you're in, the clothes that you're wearing, the computer you're using, the internet, even just the fact that you're part of this group on this call right now, all of that started as an idea or a thought in someone's mind. And since you can't not think, you're creating your life in every moment, especially with your predominant thought patterns and your emotionally charged thoughts. It's my passion and purpose to empower women, especially everywhere, to create lives they love living, that express their full potential and their unique magnificence by teaching them how to harness the superpower of their thoughts. At the end of this talk, I'll offer a gift to those of you who are interested in learning more about how to master your thinking, so you can master your life and turn your dreams into your reality. But now I want to start by sharing a quick little story that'll help us take the first step. Now, there was once a mother mouse leading her 3 little babies through a house when around a corner comes this big hungry cat. And as the cat starts to stalk across the room and readies to attack, the mother mouse rises on her back legs, puts her babies behind her, and in her loudest voice, she says, "Woof, woof, ruff, ruff, ruff." Well, that cat is so startled by this that it runs off, and the mice family is saved. And the mother mouse turns to her little babies and she says, "That, my children, is the power of learning more than one language." Now that's a fun little story, but the cat represents what was standing in the way of where the mouse wanted to go. And right now, there's something standing between you and what you want. And the language we're going to be looking at today is the language of success. That's because there's a pattern or a way of doing things that creates our results. And when we understand that language, we can apply it to any area of our life that we want to improve and use it to create a dream of any magnitude. One of the things I've learned during my many opportunities to speak to different groups is that often our dreams and goals are born out of the challenges we face or the pain we're currently experiencing. And I think it's safe to say that 2020 was a very challenging year for all of us in so many ways. It challenged us to master our thinking so that we don't catch the virus of fear that's so contagious right now. It's challenged us to resist becoming resentful of all the changes and the sacrifices we've been asked to make. It's challenged us to find new ways to stay connected with loved ones and friends while remaining healthy. And it's challenged us to become more creative in setting ourselves apart from the crowd to attract and connect with potential clients. Now, Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich in 1937, said, "Each adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. However, it's up to us to look for, find, and nurture that seed if we're going to reap the benefits. And that takes a certain mindset." So what I'm going to share with you today will help you find, nurture, and grow that seed of equal or greater benefit so that you can use the challenges of 2020 to grow even stronger and propel you into even greater success in 2021. See, we live in a universe that speaks to us through two growth signals, our longing and our discontent. Our longing for something we haven't yet created, and the feeling of discontent with our current circumstances. And these two energies, the pain of your problem and the burning desire for what you want, are what spark you to grow. And they're essential for creating new results. So it is vital that we pay attention to them. So what are you longing to create? Is it more vibrant health, deeper, more loving relationships, more passion and purpose in your work, more time and money to enjoy your life? And what is your discontent? My discontent was struggling with feelings of low self-esteem and unworthiness, feeling held back by self-sabotage and limiting beliefs. Now, my life was going pretty well. I have an Ivy League education, successful careers as a landscape architect, a teacher, an executive assistant, 17-year marriage, and a beautiful son. And from the outside, it looked like my life was pretty great. But on the inside, a part of me was dying. See, all my life, I was on a quest to find the ultimate owner's guide to life that would enable me to break through those invisible barriers holding me back. I knew those barriers were within me, not outside, but I felt powerless to discover and dissolve them. I studied countless personal development gurus, attended seminars galore, and I did make some progress. But Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith said we are often pushed by pain until we are pulled by a vision. Well, the pain that pushed me to my breakthrough came as a result of a near breakdown after losing 6 loved ones, including my dearest mother, my ex-husband, who's still a good friend, and my closest, dearest cousin in just 15 months. One died every 3 months. That dark night nearly destroyed me. It brought me to my knees. And life was so painful that I felt ready to cash in my chips, but I couldn't because my son had just lost his father 3 months before. Well, luckily, Spirit guided me to a workshop led by Mary Morrissey. And I recognized that through her lifetime of studying these principles, she had discovered that owner's manual I had been seeking. And in that workshop, a longing I had been pushing aside for over 10 years was reborn. The dream of being a life coach and helping others discover, create, and live a life they truly love. And when I finally let that vision pull me, I felt myself literally coming back to life. But I also felt very scared, and my paradigms were screaming at me all the reasons why I couldn't do this and why I shouldn't do this. Who was I to have that dream? You don't know how to do that. Or this isn't a good time. You know, it's not convenient. It's not going to be easy. Why don't you wait a few years and retire first? You know, you've got a good job. But I screwed up my courage and I went for it anyway, because the pain of all those crushing losses had taught me 3 important lessons. The first lesson, that death taught me is that none of us know how much time we have left. Will it be years, a day, or maybe even just a few hours? The second lesson is that life is far too precious to waste even a day doing something we don't love. Yeah, I had a good job, but I've been hearing this voice inside me for so long saying, you're meant for so much more. You're meant for so much more. And the third lesson was that regrets are far more painful than failure. Regrets will haunt you. And I knew I didn't want to die with regrets for things I didn't do because I was afraid. So through rigorous study and training, I became certified as a life mastery consultant. And by applying these powerful principles in my life, I'm now living my dream. I love my life. And I get to help other people do the same. I need a sip of water, so hang on a second. Now, there are 10 success principles in the Dream Builder program that can skyrocket your success when you apply them. I'm going to share 3 of these principles with you today so you can navigate this and every future storm far easier and achieve your goals and dreams far faster. See, life operates by invisible spiritual laws in the same way that invisible physical laws govern things like electricity and gravity. And as we increase our understanding and application of these laws, we gain greater freedom and access to the abundance that's ours. And life gets way easier and more fun. So what I want to do today is raise your level of awareness of how things really work. That language of success I spoke of earlier that creates our results. Sound good? Okay, well, there are 4 major domains in life in which we experience our results. There's health, relationships, vocation, and time and money freedom. And every one of us has results in each one of these areas. The results you are getting are a perfect reflection of your level of awareness in that area. So let's expand your awareness by studying the pattern that creates those results. I call this the results formula. The way the results formula works is our thoughts cause our feelings. Think about it. If you're thinking fearful thoughts, maybe you go to a scary movie or think of you watch the news, your heart starts to race. Maybe your palms sweat a bit. You feel contracted and stressed out, right? But if you're thinking positive, hopeful thoughts, you feel calm and centered, light and optimistic. And our feelings cause our actions. When we're feeling scared or depressed, we take very different actions than we do when we're feeling rested and happy and optimistic. And our actions or lack of actions cause our results. So our thoughts cause our feelings cause our actions, and our actions cause our results. Now, some people resist this concept. They don't like that their life is a result of their own thinking. Yet it's absolutely true. And it's also very empowering, because if you don't like the results you're getting, you have the power to create different results by changing your thinking. You are not a victim. You're not a victim of your circumstances. And the other thing is, the conditions will never change first. Your thinking must change first. So this brings us to the first C of dream building and activating your superpower, and that is clarity. There's a saying, no wind is favorable to the sailor with no destination in mind. She has no way of knowing how to trim the sails or turn the rudder to take advantage of the opportunities that are hers in the form of winds and currents. But if she knows clearly where she wants to go, she can use even a challenging headwind to get her there. So where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve or create? What would you truly love for your life? You might want to write this down. Clarity is power. Without a clearly defined blueprint, you can't build your dream house. And similarly, without a clear, energetic blueprint of what you'd love, you can't build your dream life. So what would you love? What would you love? I find it so sad that so many of us had dreaming drummed out of us when we were little. We were told we couldn't have what we asked for so often that we just quit asking. Or we were told outright to quit daydreaming, get real when we started school. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is time to give yourself permission to dream again, and dream big. Don't limit yourself to what you think you can have or create, what other people think you should want, or what the economy says you can have. And it's vitally important to suspend your need to know the how. The how is not your job. The what is your job. The what would you love is your job. If you know every step you need to take to create this dream, it may be a worthy goal, but it's not big enough to be your dream. So your job is to get crystal clear on what you would love your life to look like and feel like, because clarity is power. You want to imagine this life in as much vivid detail and clarity as possible. Because when you become clear on what it is you really want in life, you'll begin to see opportunities and circumstances and resources that you would have otherwise missed. And when you're clear on your destination, it saves so much energy. Decisions are far easier, and you get there far faster, as illustrated by this family circus cartoon. The little boy says, "Granddad, let's go for a walk." So they go for a walk, and Granddad knows exactly where he's going, and he goes there directly. His grandson, on the other hand, is literally all over the place, and he's exhausted. "I'm tired, Granddad, carry me." So clarity truly is power, and it's the key to finding the balance we all crave. Now, if I had more time, as I do in my workshops, I would guide you through an exercise that would help you gain greater clarity on what you would love your life to look and feel like, using that one and only question I mentioned before: what would I love? So I invite you to spend some time on your own, asking that question and imagining and describing the life of your dreams in all four quadrants: health, relationships, vocation, time and money freedom in vivid detail and dream big, because you want it to be something that you can fall in love with, that you can develop a burning desire for. And that brings us to the second C of dream building, which is commitment. So once you commit to your dream, even in the absence of perfect conditions, a whole manner of things begin to occur and rush to your aid for the fulfillment of that decision. And it's far easier to commit to your vision when you're in love with it. And that's easier to do when you can see it with clarity. I want to share a story about the power of decision or commitment with you. This is the story of Scottish mountaineer William H. Murray. Now, in the early 1900s, when Sir Edmund Hillary was putting together a team to summit Mount Everest for the first time, he sought out renowned climber William Murray. He said, come with us, we really want you on the team. At this time, however, there were no sponsors for climbers. Each climber had to pay for all of their expenses, and it was not cheap. Now, Murray really wanted to go, but when he asked and was told the cost of the expedition, his part, he saw no way he could come up with that money. And so he declined, and they went without him. Well, Hillary's team had a great expedition, but they didn't summit. So a couple of years later, Hillary put another expedition together, and again he sought out William Murray. We all want you on the team. Come with us this time, he pleaded. But Murray did exactly the same thing. He asked, how much does it cost? And when confronted with the price, he still couldn't do it. Again, the price was more than he believed possible for himself. So he declined based on his conditions. Well, Hillary's team went further up the mountain and they learned a great deal, but they still didn't summit. So a couple of years later, Hillary comes back to Murray for a third time. He says, we're going one more time. And I really think we're going to summit this time. Because the last time when I got off the mountain, I turned around and looked at her and I said, I will summit you because you're not getting any bigger and I am. And Murray wrote in his book, Evidence of Things Not Seen, that it took all the courage and strength he could muster to make himself ask a different question. Instead of asking, what's the full price? He asked, what's the deposit? And when told that amount, he wrote, I knew I could get that amount of money together, but I had no idea how I would come up with the rest. And he also knew that the down payment was non-refundable and it wouldn't get him all the way to Mount Everest. But he put the money down and he committed himself. And the rest is history. That was the expedition that first summited Mount Everest, and he was there. Murray later wrote this famous verse about commitment. You may have heard this before. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that never would have otherwise occurred. A whole stream of events issue from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. So bring to mind your Mount Everest and know that if you want to reach that vision, you must commit to it. You must energize it with your attention and develop a burning desire for it. I want you to imagine two sailors now. They both want to go to San Francisco. One has been told, oh, you should go to San Francisco. You would love it. There's so many wonderful things to see and do. There's nice people. There's good weather. It's so much fun. You'd have a blast. The other sailor wants to go to San Francisco because that's where his sweetheart, his soulmate, is waiting for him. And he is determined to marry her. Now, you know there will be storms and challenges that rise up between both these sailors and San Francisco. Put in the chat box which one you think is going to get there. The one who's going for fun or the one who's going for love? What do you think? Cynthia, you're right again. Yeah, and Sharon, absolutely. The one whose sweetheart is waiting there. Of course. The other one, if he sees a big storm on the horizon, he's very likely to say, you know, I've heard good things about Los Angeles too. Maybe I'll go there instead. But the other one, as the old song goes, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river, no ocean wide enough to keep him from her. And that's the kind of burning desire you have to have for your dream. So what about you and your dream? Well, it starts by making a decision. It starts by saying, today's the day I'm going after my dream. Today's the day I say no to the doubts and the reasons it won't work. And I say yes to the possibilities and the opportunities. Today, I suspend my belief in the power of my conditions, and instead I believe more in the power that's breathing me. Today's the day I decide for my dream, even though I don't know the how. So let me ask you, is today the day you're ready to commit to your dream? Because that's what it takes if you want to turn your dream into your reality. And this brings us to the third C of dream building, which is courage, learning to befriend your fear. When we decide for a dream, there's a part of us that looks a lot like or feels a lot like this little guy. Yes, I'm doing this thing. And there's another part of us that feels more like this. Yeah, right, how's that gonna happen? How are you gonna do that? You've never done that before. Who are you to have this dream? You don't have what it takes. And our fears are very, very clever. They'll never say, I'm here to kill your dream. I'm here to be sure you never get what you really want. No, they disguise themselves as protective or reasonable. I'm here to be sure you never get hurt that way ever again. But if all of those reasons don't work on us, they may use the biggie, which is, what if you fail? Oh my gosh, what if you fail? Raise your hand if you've ever had a failure in life. Anybody? Anybody besides me? Yeah, exactly. We all have. And we're still here, for one thing. When we were babies, we all started out as non-walkers, but we kept going. Even when we failed, we'd rise up and we'd fall down. We'd rise up again and we'd fall down. We kept doing that until finally we became walkers. But something happens to us when we become adults. We stop giving ourselves permission to fall down. We have a relationship that fails. We say, well, I guess I'm just not meant to have love in my life. Or we have a business failure and we might think, I'm just not cut out to be a business person. It's obvious. See, you have to give yourself permission to fail enough to succeed. You have to befriend your fear and take the actions to serve your dream, even when those fears rise up and try and stop you, as they did when I committed to my dream. Because fear and failure are prerequisites for achieving great dreams. And successful people know this. They're willing to be uncomfortable for the sake of growth and the sake of their dreams. And great dream builders are willing to fail and rise again. So when the voice of doubt questions you and asks, what if you fail? Let your response be, bring it on. Yeah, I might fail, but if I do, I'm going to rise up, keep going, and I will succeed. So you might be wondering, well, how do I give power to the part of me that wants to move forward when I'm hearing the voice that wants to keep me playing small inside my comfort zone? Well, there's a whole process I take my clients through in the Dream Builder program. Today, I want to share 3 powerful tools that you can use. The first one is to notice what you're noticing. You want to increase your awareness of your thoughts because 95% of our thoughts are subconscious. And it's only when we are more aware of them that we can reprogram those thoughts. So you want to first notice what you're noticing. And then when you notice those fear thoughts, hit the pause button, interrupt those thoughts. Quit telling that story, quit feeding those fears, and then use your breath, your breathing to shift your energy. So anytime you notice you've been triggered, and Lord knows, these days we are probably triggered many, many times every day. So when you notice that, you want to use this breathing technique I'm going to show you to calm your nervous system, to shift it from the fight or flight mode to the rest, relax, create energy of the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the one that's responsible for keeping us healthy and thinking more clearly. Now, this deceptively simple but powerful process works like this. So you want to take a deep but comfortable breath in through your nose, okay? When we breathe through our nose, this signals our nervous system that we're safe because you can't run from danger and breathe through your nose at the same time. So take a breath in through your nose, hold that breath at the top for a couple of counts and bring to mind something you're grateful for. Okay, gratitude is on a frequency that's harmonic with abundance. And bring to mind your vision. All right, then release that breath as if blowing out through a straw. Letting go of all the contractive thoughts, any regrets about the past, any worries about the future, and bring your mind to the current moment, because that is really the only time that exists. So you want to take 3 or more breaths like that until you feel calm and centered. And you may have to do this many times a day, okay? Anytime you notice you've been triggered. I highly recommend practicing this technique when you're not stressed, because you want this to become your default. So as soon as you notice, man, I've been triggered, you automatically know to go to your breathing, okay? And then the third step is to reconnect with your dream. You want to go to your dream and install a new thought, a new paradigm that's in harmony with the energy of your vision, and then take action. That anchors that new paradigm when you take action. So ask yourself, what can I do with what I have from where I'm at that will move me in the direction of my dream? Calendarize it. There is a lot of power in the structure of our calendars. So put it on your calendar and then do it. So ask yourself, what's one action I can take that would move me in the direction of my dream? Whether that dream is to stay safe and healthy, to improve a relationship, or attract more clients so you can thrive rather than just survive during these challenging times. And know this, that progress is far more important than perfection. Even baby steps can take you to the top of Mount Everest as long as you keep taking them. And the choices and actions you take today will determine who you become tomorrow. I need a sip of water again, hang up. Now, as promised, I have a gift for you, and then we'll close with a powerful thought. But first, I want to quickly recap what we've covered today. All right, first you learned that there is a pattern to success, a language for creating the results you want. Then you learned that your thoughts are your superpower. And you learned the 3 C's to dream building and activating that superpower. The first C is clarity. You have to have a clear blueprint of what you would love. And the clearer your blueprint, the more power you have. The second C is commitment. You have to decide for your dream in the absence of knowing the how, just like William Murray did when he went for his dream. And then the third C is courage. You have to learn to befriend your fear, because fear will always be with you. But fear and failure are just prerequisites for greatness. And you now know the 3 tools for taking control. First of all, notice what you're noticing. Second, hit your pause button and use your breathing to shift to the parasympathetic nervous system of rest, relax, restore. And then reconnect with your dream, repattern that thought, and take action. The main idea I want you to leave with today is that your thoughts are incredibly powerful. And when you learn to harness them, you can be, do, have, create whatever you are willing to get in harmony with. Now, those are just 3 of the 10 steps in the Dream Builder program. Raise your hand if you connect with any of these ideas and know that if you really implement them, they would make a difference in your life. Anybody? Good. Well, as promised, I have a special gift for those of you who are ready to take action on your dream. Between my speaking and coaching schedule, I carve out time for a limited number of discovery sessions. These are powerful 60-minute phone conversations where I help you get clear on where you are and the hidden things that have been holding you back, what you would love to create, and the next most important steps that'll move you in the direction of your dream. Most people leave these sessions feeling energized and inspired and motivated to go for their dream. And these one-on-one sessions are valued at $250. But if you're ready now to go for your dream, or you want help clarifying it, your next best step is to schedule a discovery session with me at no charge. This is my gift to you. But there's a limited number of slots available. So you want to go to my calendar at speakwithsondra.com to schedule that session today. I've helped dozens of clients rescue fractured relationships, reverse serious health challenges, and rekindle their passion for life so they can live a life they truly love. If you'd like help giving birth to the dream in your heart so you can express and experience all the love, success, freedom, health, passion for life, and inner peace you desire, contact me at speakwithsondra.com. If you'd like to discover and dissolve the mental barriers that are keeping you stuck so you can step into your power and see just how high you can soar, your next move is to schedule that call with me today by going to speakwithsondra.com. So you want to do that now, and I'll put that in the, actually it's right there at the base of the my slide, but I'll also put it in the chat at the end. Now, like William Murray, you have a beautiful dream, but perhaps it seems impossible. Perhaps you see no clear path at this point. Well, after summiting Mount Everest, Murray wrote, "Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence." Just because you don't know how right now, maybe you don't see the path right now, it doesn't mean a path doesn't exist. It just means you're not aware enough yet to see that path. You have a splendid dream, but to achieve your dream, you must spend time writing it down in vivid detail. And you must decide for it, not just once, but over and over and over again. You have to decide for it over opposing circumstances. You have to decide for it when it's inconvenient and when it's uncomfortable and when you don't feel like it. But know this, that when you really commit yourself, then providence moves too. So as you return to your life, know that what is inside you is far greater than any challenge you're facing. You have incredible power within you. This is your moment. Today is your day to take bold action and make the commitment to your vision. Because as the wise philosopher Goethe once said, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So be bold today. It has been my pleasure and privilege sharing this time and my message with you today. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Well, thank you so much for that, Sondra Lee. We are truly inspired. I know I am. I have a project I've been working on and I kind of stepped away from it, but I'm going to get back to it today.
Good, good. Yeah.
So,
write it out. There is so much power. We have a saying, don't just think it, ink it. Write it down.
I put it on my calendar, but then I move it to the next day and I move it to the next and I never get back to it. You've inspired me. Thank you so much for
good
today.
Jody,
Can I share one quick thing?
Sure.
We talked about having a superpower. I have to just show you that my daughter-in-law gave me this mug and it says, I'm a grandma. What is your superpower?
I love it.
Just thought I'd share that.
Nice.
I'm gonna put that.
I have a quick question.
Absolutely.
So does your services allow any insurance at all?
What do you mean by insurance?
So, you know, maybe, I mean, does it fall under any particular, because a lot of us are self-employed and we may have be able to use our insurance. Do you have anything that would, a category that it could fall under where we can utilize that?
Health.
Good question.
You know, I've never been asked that question before. Mental health. I mean, I am in the healing business. You know, everything starts with our thinking. And if you're, you know, it's sort of like the belief system that we've each developed as we go through life. It's sort of like the map that we use to navigate. And if you're trying to navigate around Chicago, say, with a map of New York, it's not going to work very good, is it?
No.
And that's what happens when we, you know, we're navigating according to, you know, erroneous beliefs about how it works. So I don't know. I've never been asked that question, Elena.
Yeah, because we're, you know, our jobs are like kind. All of us on this call, we're pretty much in sales, and it's a lonely walk. We're looking for, you know, the next transaction that we can secure. And it would be nice to talk to somebody, you know, other than someone that's maybe in your same field, not yours, but our same field.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never had an opportunity to speak with anyone at all, you know. All I get is, where's my next deal?
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah. And it's so crucial to have a structure of support to help you, you know, navigate. It's what we call the gap. There's a gap between the life that you're living right now and the life that you would love to be living. And that gap is very difficult to navigate on your own. I think one of the worst things we can do is to fall prey to the lone ranger syndrome, you know, thinking I've got to do it myself.
Right.
If I get help, then it's not, you know, I don't.
that
I
statement you
can't
just
claim
said,
that victory for myself, you
the
know?
statement you just said, I have to do it myself. That's kind of like what all women say. We're like, you know, we do everything.
Yeah, we do everything.
Yeah. Well, when you get really, really clear on just exactly what you would love your life to look like, as I said before, it gives you so much power because then you know where to focus your energy. And decisions are so much easier. You know, is this move going to take me closer to my my vision or further away from it? And just, you know, it's cut and dry, yes or no. But if you don't know what you want, if you don't spend time figuring out what you want, then you get to that decision point, that crossroads, and I'm confused. I don't know which way to go. Yeah, because you don't know where you really want to end up.
Good point. Okay, any more questions? That was just great, Sondra Lee. Thank you so
I
much.
have, sorry,
Oops,
I have a
somebody else has a question?
I didn't realize I wasn't on off of mute. Your mention of Mary Morrissey book.
Mhm.
What was the name of that book?
I didn't mention a
Oh.
book. It was a workshop, that
workshop.
I went to where I
Okay,
was
good.
introduced to her. She has written a couple of books.
Yeah,
I think
she has
one is
several.
Your Field of Dreams.
That's the one I've read recently. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so about this time last year, I read it. That was the first time I'd ever heard of her, and it was very, very.
Oh, she's
interesting. It drew
amazing.
me in.
She is amazing. Oh, and I'll give you all this tip. She and her organization, they do what they call Dream Builder Live 3 times a year normally. They're doing it now virtually. And the next one is next weekend. It's a 3-day event, the 29th, 30th, and 31st. They do it virtually, and they are absolutely amazing how they can maintain the incredible energy at their events, even when it's virtual.
Oh, wow.
And because it's virtual, it's only $97. But they're like
all 3 days? Wow.
All 3 days, all 3 days. You don't have to pay to fly there. You don't have to pay to, you know, stay in the hotel and all that stuff. So if you're interested in that, go to bravethinkinginstitute.com or just put in, just Google Dream Builder Live 2021 and it'll pop up. And it is an amazing experience. It really is.
Thank you.
Highly recommend it.
Thank you. Although I am looking forward to flying somewhere. I'm going to staying in a room.
Oh yeah, I'm
forward to all of that.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But just as the story that Cynthia told tells us, you know, okay, we can focus on all of the things that we can't do, or we can focus on all of the things we can do, all the positives. Like, look at all the money that you're saving by not having to fly to these places or drive to these, and time, you know, the time that it takes and the money. And I mean, there's a lot of positives in every situation. And
Yes.
even in you know, 2020 had a lot of positives, but you're not going to see that if you're focused on the black dot, if you're focused on all of the bad stuff.
Yeah, that's so true. You know, I'm one to count my blessings because I see, you know, you see what's happening, and then, you know, I mean, it could be so much worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It could be so
And I
much.
think one of the lessons is to appreciate things more. You know, like the old saying, you don't miss your water till your well runs dry.
Mhm.
You know, who among us knew how precious toilet paper can be? You know, I mean, that wasn't one of the things that was at the top of my gratitude list until last March, you know, and then it was like, hallelujah, they have toilet,
I know.
you know, and appreciation for the difficult tasks that teachers do
Yeah.
every day, and especially now. I mean, there's so many things
Yeah.
that, you know, not being able, just even appreciating, think how much more you're going to appreciate being able to hug your friends and loved ones.
Yes.
Something that we may have taken for granted before. Yeah, I'll give you a hug. Now it's like, oh my God, that is so precious.
Yeah.
And it all starts with our mindset. What are we focusing on? What we focus on, we get more of.
Yes, so true. Okay, well, so thank you so much for speaking with us today. We really appreciate having you.
You're welcome, Sharon. Thank you for the opportunity.
And do we have Sondra's information for anybody that would like to contact her other than the phone call? Did we put?
I can put my website in there. And also, I'll mention this. If I put out a weekly newsletter with sort of mindset tips, if you're interested in subscribing to that, you can do that on my website too. And I'll put that in the chat. It's
wonderful. Thank you so much.
You bet. It's innerradiancerevealed.com.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
If I could type, I'd be dangerous.
Okay, so I would like now to thank our strategic partners. We would not be able to do any of this without them. I'm going to list our 2021 strategic partners. Our gold partner is HomeSmart Eye Care Realty, Isom Coleman. Our bronze partner is Sacramento Delta Property Management, Sandy Highland. Our level 1 partners are Galster Real Estate Group, Sue and Steve Galster. Chicago Title Land Park, Casey Clay. And Mo's Home Decor, Mario Estrada. We really do appreciate our strategic partners supporting us. I'd also like to thank our national affiliates, Bank of America, Connie Stewart, Christy Rada Insurance Agency, Farmers, Christy Rada, Golden One Credit Union, Lindsay Jackson, Land Home Financial Services, Anthony Nunez, Orange Coast Title Company, Chris Clark, Umpqua Bank, Tanya Wermond, and Win Home Inspections, Jeff Nertz. I don't really know how to pronounce his name. Nertz.
I need to interject. Can we talk about our newest as of early
Yes.
this morning? Our
Yes.
platinum.
Go ahead.
Platinum level sponsor is Mark Gresham with 818 Inspections, home inspections here in Sacramento. They have graciously become a part of our Women's Council Sacramento and strategic partnership, and we're very grateful for their time and effort today and throughout the year.
Great, thank you. That's wonderful. We do have we have a slide which shows how you can become a member or strategic partner. 2021, we plan for this to be a great year. Hopefully by, I would say May, we can get back out and meet in person. Our event we have coming up in May is, I believe it's the golf tournament. So hopefully we can get out there and play golf in May. We do have an event next month. It's our multicultural panel of speakers. We're going to have speakers from different walks of life, different cultures, who are going to give us a lot of good information about their cultures, as well as a recipe from their culture. And I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you all will attend. That would be great. Okay, so that's it for me. You have anything, Beth?
I don't have anything else other than this was absolutely amazing. Thank you, Sondra. I love seeing everyone here, and absolutely we should not take for granted, even though we're here today, it is, wonderful that we are able to be here together. So, we'll keep it in Zoom until we don't need to any longer. And after that, we'll be wild and free again.
Yes, would be great. Okay, so that ends our program for today, everybody, unless anybody has anything else, any further comments.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all.
Jody, great seeing you. Yeah, it was great seeing everybody. Hi,
Thank you,
Carol.
everybody. That was wonderful. Thank you, Sondra.
Bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.